Before I begin, one of my colleagues raised a letter that was sent to the FCC back in 2018 that was signed by Democrats. I don't know how many of you know who the chair of the FCC was in 2018. Do any of you know? Does the name Ajit Pai sound familiar? Do you know who was president in 2018? Donald Trump. I'm sorry if I stumped you all. It was Chairman Pai that denied this thing. And Chairman Pai, in his order, he said something along the lines of, what was submitted to the FCC lacked candor. It's funny to me how there's so many legal ways to call a lie a lie. When the FCC says a submission lacks candor, it means that it intentionally provided false or misleading information, omitting crucial facts. Just so that the record's straight. Mr. Volek, just a few weeks ago, the Federal Communication Commission Chairman Brendan Carr made several statements. You've heard a lot of them today, with regulatory action over remarks made by Jimmy Kimmel if they, quote, didn't take action. In his own words, Chairman Carr said, quote, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way." Now, to be clear, ABC can suspend Jimmy Kimmel's show for whatever reason they want. However, the fact pattern that led ABC to suspend Jimmy Kimmel's show involved a government official, in this case FCC Chair Carr, making direct threats. As you have written, quote, "But if the government coerced ABC into suspending the show through threats or of retaliation, that would have likely violated the First Amendment." Yes or no, if ABC acted to remove Jimmy Kimmel because of FCC Chairman Carr's threats, would Carr's actions violate the First Amendment?
Yes, I think so.
Unfortunately, the events from a few weeks ago related to Kimmel's show is not the first time that Chairman Carr has weaponized the FCC against broadcasters since he took office. Mr. Kimmelman, I'd like for you to help get some facts on the record. I think you answered these to Chairman Markey, but questions sometimes need to be heard twice. And as the response is, did President Biden ever direct Chair Rosenworcel to investigate a media company, pull their license, and impose the maximum fines and punishment, by the way, that's a quote, from Donald Trump, for their unlawful and illegal behavior immediately after threatening to sue that company?
No, Senator.
Did President Biden suggest Chair Rosenworcel should revoke broadcaster licenses for giving him, quote, bad publicity?
No, sir.
Did Chairman Carr reinstate complaints against NBC, ABC, and CBS for election coverage that were dismissed by the prior FCC?
Yes, Senator.
Did Chairman Carr launch investigations into local NPR, PBS stations alleging that they could be violating federal law by airing commercials?
Yes, Senator.
Has Chairman Carr openly threatened to remove Comcast broadcast license over news coverage?
Yes, Senator.
Now, look, what's disappointing is that's just a sample of what's recently happened, and I appreciate this hearing. I think this was a good hearing. There are a few of us that actually authored legislation to say, FCC, keep your hands off of these media companies. Protect the First Amendment. Follow the law. I hope that's something that you all will take a look at and see if maybe there's bipartisanship, and if anyone's worried about doing it under this president, let's say the next president. Let's just say, let's take this off the table. So I certainly hope that's something that we can all do together. Now, Mr. Kimmelman, President Trump has developed a habit of suing media companies if they report or publish content he doesn't like. He sued CNN, ABC, CBS, Washington Post, Wall Street Journal. I mean, it goes on and on. Trump even sued the Pulitzer Prize winner to the New York Times and Washington Post for their reporting about Russian interference in the 2016 election. Now, some of the media companies, such as ABC and CBS, chose to settle. Others are still fighting. Even if a lawsuit is baseless, what effect does it have on the opposing party, Mr. Kimmelman?
Senator, it has an enormous chilling effect, even as you've heard from my colleagues on this panel here in a different context. It's overwhelming to take on the government. Even if you think you can vindicate your rights, it's daunting task, and it tends to pull people away from presenting the views, are actually trying to vindicate their rights because it is such an overwhelmingly costly endeavor.
Look, I think it's fact that Meta paid $22 million to President Trump to settle a lawsuit. Did Paramount pay? Yes, $16 million to President Trump as well. After Skydance settled, there was a merger approved within days as well. As a matter of fact, my team looked into the last time that a president sued one of these media companies. They had to go back to Teddy Roosevelt to find it. And do you know how much the settlement was for? 6 cents. Anyhow, there's a little trivia for you all as well. Look, as my time concludes, Mr. Davis, I don't know if you've ever been asked this. I can't find anywhere on the record where you've answered it. Who won the 2024 election in the United States of America?
Who won the 2024 election?
Yeah, for president.
Joe Biden was elected president.
In 2024?
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Had 2020
That was
brain.
misinformation right there. So let's set the record straight. Who won the 2024 election?
I was in government censorship mode. Donald Trump won the 2024 election.
Who won the 2020 election?
Joe Biden was elected president in 2020.
I appreciate that very much. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. Well, since we're doing some presidential history, Mr. Davis, could you name the last president that was a prosecutor attempted to throw in jail for the rest of his life and impoverish his family? Has that ever happened?
Yeah, I recall Donald Trump being threatened.
Right, they're the
with
only one. Not
prison.
even Teddy Roosevelt, since we're going back in time. I do want to ask you, Mr. Kimmelman, because just as a follow-up before, and I'm going to get to you just very quickly. The question was a president suing a news organization, and you said that the government taking that on would have a chilling effect. You're not arguing that an individual citizen, as President Trump, suing a media company for lies is a threat to the First Amendment, right?
No,
Okay,
no.
thank you. Senator Blunt, Rochester.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To my colleagues,